The Pentagon fears that classified documents due to be released by Wikileaks may be even more damaging than those that have been published before. The US military says it knows the nature of the additional 15,000 documents that the website has pledged to disclose. Last month, you may recall, it published more than 90,000 documents, creating a stir both with the public and US defense officials. We're now joined by John Young. He is a former Wikileaks advisory board member and a critic now of the website and its policies these days. Thanks for being with us. So why has Wikileaks managed to gain so much notoriety so quickly, and how influential really is it at the end of the day?
Wikileaks is a master at publicity, and they've done a great job of publicizing what they do, including exaggerating the importance of what they do. Nonetheless, it's an important step in diminishing the amount of secrecy around the world. There's been a huge increase in secrecy since the end of the Second World War, and so Wikileaks is part of a large group of other institutions who are working hard to diminish secrecy, which needs to come way down. It's much too expensive and acts as anti-democratic. So Wikileaks, any valid criticism is that it's calling too much attention to itself and actually diverting public attention from the good that it's doing, because it set out to, in fact, release documents that should go to the public, but it's turned into something of a bombshell producing machine right now, and has neglected its regular producing of a lot of interesting documents that the public needs to see. And I think that right now they've joined up with the Department of Defense to actually divert attention from more important matters, particularly the recent series on secrecy put out by the Washington Post. And so it's gotten into the publicity game far too much.
Now, hang on, I just want to pick up on something there. You said it's joined up with the Ministry of Defence. What do you mean by that? But, of course, the main big question on everyone's lips is who is responsible for all these massive leaks? Well, one US soldier, as we know, has been implicated. But there is another school of thought, isn't there, that there is maybe more to this. It could maybe be some kind of conspiracy. Can you elaborate on what you said just now?
Well, there is a very large underground economy in stolen information using the Internet for this purpose, and Wikileaks is a part of that. It's a very small part, but the technology for selling stolen information is very large and very lucrative. Governments do it, corporations do it, individuals do it. Wikileaks basically sells stolen information, and is part of that because it's so easy to do and it's very lucrative. But first you have to overvalue it, as all stolen information is overvalued, in order to get the highest price. So right now they're engaged in a campaign to raise the price of their information.
But where's this information come from, do you think, sir? This last set of leaks particularly?
Well, it comes from what I call this underground economy of leakage, is that it comes from a variety of sources. We actually don't know where this latest leak has come from. It's been claimed to come from an Army enlisted man, but we actually don't know if that's true or not.
I think
nearly all this underground economy
I think what I really want to get at, has this information come from people that are really close to the source?
We actually don't know. Right now, there's too much disinformation being put out by Wikileaks as well as by the Defense Department. We actually can't figure out where it came from and how long it's been out there.
Let's talk about the man behind it. You touched on it just now, Julian Assange, of course. Is this just a big PR machine for him?
Well, it's either that or he's serving as a decoy to draw attention away from Wikileaks, which is a good organization. And so this prominence of Julian Assange, which has come about relatively recently, is actually diverting attention from what Wikileaks actually does and how it operates. So I don't know if that's a fundraising campaign or if it's a decoy to draw attention away from the underground aspects of Wikileaks.
And who would want him to do that?
Well, is that the people who are profiting from this underground economy need to divert attention from it. And by the way, governments engage in this underground economy too. They are, in fact, one of the biggest users of the underground economy for spreading propaganda and disinformation.
Let's just look at it.
And they use sources like WikiLeaks to get it out to the public.
But let's just look at it from the public's point of view. I have to say, if you stand back, tens of thousands of top-secret documents have been released, as we know. To a lot of people, the scale of that, it's more than just a leak, it's nigh on a dam burst. Surely people can't even hope to take on board so much information. Is there just too much minute detail in here?
Well, I've spent some time looking at those, and that some of them are completely phony. Some are jokes that the Intel people played. Some of them are totally useless, and so that Intel reports have to be evaluated. And this is just a dump of all kinds of material, and so we actually don't know for sure whether it's valuable or not.
And the big worry, of course, the big criticism, have these leaks, do you think, really compromised any operational safety on the battlefield in Afghanistan?
No, it's not likely, although this is a standard response from governments when something like this happens. They often cook up these stories. Whenever we've released similar information, there's always some lurid accusation made about it, and it's usually we put lives at risk or something like that. We've published hundreds of names of spies, and they always act like their lives have been put at risk. So this is a standard response. And notice this story is actually petering out now.
Okay. John Young, editor of the document leaking site Cryptome.org, and indeed a co-founder, as I mentioned earlier on, of the Wikileaks website. Thanks for being on the program.